When the world around you is insane, how do you know what is true and what is false, what is good and what is evil? How do you know? When you're 14 and you realise evil is happening, what can you do? As in fact the girl in Hitler's Daughter realises that no one listens to 14-year-olds. If you are Hitler's daughter after the war, do you have to say that you're sorry for the evil your father has done? Will you always be Hitler's daughter? Or do we leave the sins of our parents and our ancestors behind? And that is one of the useful things about writing historical fiction and historical fiction for kids. It gives you a place to play with very, very strong and in fact often very modern themes, but they're safely in the past.
So what's the most memorable or meaningful feedback that you've ever got from a reader then?
A letter. A letter from a reader it's always memorable. Yeah. Who the hell is this, somebody writing from a distant location who's just found your book somewhere, and usually second-hand, or someone's passed it on or forced it on them and they haven't read it for years, and then they picked it up and they apologise for not reading it before and all that kind of thing. They're all memorable, all of those connections, that you can be lucky enough to have what is essentially a private, something that's imagined privately, like your own vision of something. It's like a theatrical production. You've done all the behind the scenes work and so on, but someone's come along and seen it and said, I was moved by it, or it seemed real. I love it when people say it seemed real, because it's not real.
And I started thinking about it and realising that this idea of the luminous moment was what really interests me in writing and in life too. And that quotation, it's not a quotation, but that bit that I refer to, which is in Spider Cup, where the woman whose husband's left her remembers being in a place 5 years ago when they were still a complete family, and they'd had a meal in a restaurant, and they were standing on a bridge looking at a piece of water, and she thinks this scene still exists, this luminous moment is still there. If you could go far enough out into space, 5 years away, it's still happening, which I think is a very interesting image. I feel very strongly that you have to remember the past, that the luminous moments are important.